What's up, everybody? How's it going out there, all you YouTubers, all you people watching on Facebook, Instagram, however you guys are getting a hold of this. But this week, I'm going to plug you guys into something that a lot of people aren't many fans of, I guess how you would put it. But not many people are fans of this product. It's a Hyperkin Retron 5. I really like it. I think it's awesome. And so we're going to go ahead and check it out. Okay, well, you guessed it. This is going to be the Hyperkin Retron 5 review. And instead of doing it on my 4K TV, we're going to do it on old trusty CRT. And you're asking, well, how are you going to plug HDMI? Well, for all you tech nerds out there, which is like me, you can buy a composite to HDMI converter. And you can convert it through HDMI. So it's not directly HDMI, but it's an HDMI stream to the composite. So it's real cool. I don't know if you guys can see all these little blue and purple lines. That's because it's telling you that there's a signal to your composite box. It's a HDMI to composite, so it's streaming on there. Okay, so the cool thing about the Hyperkin Retron 5 is that you can use all retro controllers. You can use the Sega Genesis, you can use a Super Nintendo, you can use the Nintendo, and you can use remakes from other companies that have remade those controllers. And the good thing about that is they're interchangeable. So you can use the Sega for Nintendo, Super Nintendo for Nintendo, Nintendo for Super Nintendo. However, if you use Nintendo for Super Nintendo or Sega, it'll tell you you can use it, but it'll tell you that there's not enough buttons in the layout. Alright, well, unfortunately, I haven't used the Retron 5 controller in a while, and the only way it can charge is through USB on here. I tried charging it through USB outside of that. However, it doesn't do it that way. I'm not sure why, but a lot of people say that the controllers don't last that long. It's all good. I don't really use controllers except for some of the technical stuff. I guess there's a way to walk around that. And the other cool thing is, and I would show you, but I don't want to get a copyright strike from Nintendo because I really like Nintendo. I really like Retron 5 and I really like their products. So I'm doing good with them. And Nintendo, if you want me to partner with you, I'll do it. No problem. Your products are just awesome. Retron 5 too. I don't mind if you want to sponsor this episode. Which, disclaimer, Nintendo or Retron 5 is not sponsoring this episode. So this is just me telling you guys about the awesome products that I have. And I've had this product for about a year and I wanted to see how it worked, why it worked, if it was going to last this long, because the reason why people are picking on this product is because it's piggybacking off of RetroArch. RetroArch is a free software that's out there. You're right, free software. So we're going to go ahead and check this out. Okay, first we're going to show you awesome game right here. The arcade version of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for NES. Okay, we're going to plug this in and get started. Alright, and it has, oh, I didn't mention that it does have the Famicom, and that port is for Famicom. And then it has Game Boy, Game Boy Advance. So it's in the same slot, which is really super awesome. Has Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, and the Super Nintendo slot fits Super Famicom as well. And they do have, with the new update, they have a Sega Mega Drive adapter that you can put over top of it, which is, it's kind of slow from what I understand, but it still works nonetheless. Okay, so we're going to plug in a Nintendo. Okay, and you know what? And you can tell with how yellow that is. This is an original Nintendo controller. Man, I salvaged this. I cleaned out somebody's garage and they gave me a bunch of video games and this still works. So I was very thankful. So I'm going to plug this guy in. And my suggestion is Okay, there's these little rubber covers. If you're not using the controller port, cover them up. It saves it from dust destroying your machine. And the machine's lightweight, so it's really super cool. That's what I like about it. Okay, we're gonna plug it in. Oh, the one cool thing is you can do IPS files. So if you have a ROM hack of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you can, through an SD card, which I have one in the back, you can load the IPS files on there. And you can play the ROM hack of that game. But it's really super cool how that works. And I've done that with Mario 3. And they have so many Mario 3 hacks. So cool. And I get to play them on here. And the pixels are really defined. And we're going to check that out too. Okay, so the one thing I did want to tell you is if you do have the component to HDMI adapter, you do want to make sure, because there is a NTSC switch on there or a PAL. If you live in PAL region, which is China and overseas, keep it on PAL. But if you have NTSC, which is United States. Okay, so I'm up close. Gonna see you guys, but I'm going to show you guys a little gameplay. It's really super cool. Got my old Sanyo. I want to show you guys it looks really cool on the CRT, and it looks just like HD, so the converter is really good. Now I bought a, I think this one is, I have a HDMI to composite and a composite to HDMI. And the other converter I bought was trash, but this one is really super awesome. I'll put a link in the description below for the Retron 5, and I'll also put a link in the description below for the converter that you need, because this is HDMI to composite. Okay, so we're going to turn this bad boy up. Okay, I don't know how loud this is going to be. Okay, this is going to be pretty loud. Alright, if you notice, I have all the different controllers up here. Get started. And what's cool about the resolution is it puts it on the screen in the native resolution. So it doesn't try to expand it into a resolution that stretches it out. I mean, it's not even pixel. It honestly looks like a lot of those new modern games that they're making on computers. Because if you can tell, all the pixels are refined. You can tell that it's the old 8-bit. But when you have the experience of playing on the Retron 5, I mean, not even the RetroPie can stream like this. I'm serious. I have the RetroPie myself. I mean, a really super cool machine for a really inexpensive price. But when you put your cartridge into the Retron 5, it rips the ROM onto the RetroArch and it strips it completely on there and it puts it into 4K format in HD. Man, it's so awesome. Okay, if you notice when you pull the game out, it does say cartridge error, but that just means that you pulled it out. Okay, so the next one, Super Return of the Jedi. Pretty awesome. I ordered this from GameStop Online, which GameStop Online does have retro games, but you cannot buy them in the store, sadly. Okay, plug this in. Okay, Return of the Jedi. Okay, look, warning, connected controller, do not have enough buttons to play this cartridge. See, it lets you go through. Okay? Which Return of the Jedi doesn't require that much. You can see I'm playing Super Nintendo with the NES controller. Okay, and it's really cool. Look how amazing it is. The graphics. I mean, they're totally refined. Okay? And I just died. And that's okay. Oh, I can enter my name. The Sith Lord. And And just so you guys know, let me turn this down a bit. I did only pick games that that require very few controls, like Return of the Jedi, just to prove to you guys that you can only, not that you can only, but you can use one controller as well. Okay, next game. Alright. Okay. Trust the old 6-pack. Now we're going to show you what the 6-pack's all about. We're going to show you Streets of Rage. 1 is on the 6-pack. It only requires a certain amount of controls, so we're just going to use the NES controller. It gives me that warning, but I'm going to play it anyway. See, look. Bam. Here, let me turn it up a bit so you guys can get a bit of a experience like me. As you can see, the pixels on here make the Sega Genesis, which is Sega Master System, so awesome. The pixels are refined, and it's almost like I'm playing it on the computer, but better. Even the emulators on the computer can't even touch this. Guys, so overall I give the Retron 5 a big A+ and thumbs up because it's compatible with all of the Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, Nintendo, Famicom, Super Famicom, Game Boy, Game Boy Advance. Oh, I want to tell you though, the only thing it's not compatible with is a lot of those new games, the 391, no, it was 396 in one game cards, the new cartridges that have like a billion different ROMs dumped onto one. It's because this rips one ROM at a time, and that has several ROMs, so it can't rip all those ROMs. It reads as unknown. So that's the only thing that I give it a F on, because it can't function without functionality. But I don't care about that. I can play that on my other systems, so I'm okay with that. I have other systems like the retro systems, which is cool. I could just slap that in there and play away, so it's not a big deal. But I wanted to show you guys that, and the compatibility it has with all the different controllers, and you can play Game Boy and Game Boy Advance too, which is super awesome. But I just want to encourage you guys, grab this item. It's hot, it's item. I encourage you guys to grab this item. It's hot, it's awesome. Grab the HDMI to AV adapter. That's the one you're going to want to use. So again guys, this is Arlen Woods with Retro Stylz. This is an amazing Wednesday. Hope this is awesome to you guys, and this is a product that I recommend. And you guys have a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday, and continue being an amazing version of you.